Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Life After Sunday, the midweek mic. And today we're going to be talking about God's fire.
There's a good message by Pastor Patty this week. And I think one of the big takeaways, something that's really important for us to remember as believers, salvation, when it happens, is instant. You pray that prayer and God comes into your heart. But the renewal process is something that is ongoing. So this is the journey that you are on the whole time as you follow Christ. Like your soul is instantly saved, but your mind is not automatically renewed. So this is something you are continually seeking God for and something you are working on your whole Christian walk.
So we're talking about like God's fire. I think it's so Christianese that sometimes people might be like, what are you even referring
What
to?
does the fire mean?
I think a lot of times we go based off of feeling or what's happening in a room, the goosebumps and worship, but that could be the start, it could be a kindling. But I think, like what you said, the fire is a continual process. We have that refining fire where it's turning something into precious metal. So it's not going to happen quickly.
You talk about fire, and it's like you might feel the heat of that. You might not want to be sitting there. It might be uncomfortable, but know that it's producing something.
Right. So sometimes I think people just want the warmth of God.
Yeah.
They just want that like nice, cozy, builds you up. But no, it's a blazing fire that will consume and it will wreck you and transform you and change.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people, when they pray for God's fire and then it's too much for them
Yeah.
instead of seeing the process through.
Because it's uncomfortable when you, I think, have to face things, deal with things in yourself that maybe are ugly or not the things that aren't perfect that you have to be willing to be truthful about.
Right.
Like bringing it to him and letting him work through that with
You
you.
mentioned like renewing your mind. That's the whole entire process of making neural pathways that weren't there, how we
Right.
respond to things. So that does take time and that does take practice.
Yeah. You can believe in God, and it might be easy to say that, but are you still acting in your old patterns? Are you still believing the same? Then you're not letting a transformation happen.
Right.
And there should be a transformation.
Yep, fire that doesn't change is just heat. It's
Yeah.
not the fire from God. There's going to be transformation in your life.
Right.
If you're going to church and you're feeling this excitement in this fire, in quotation marks, but then you show up on Tuesday or Wednesday and nothing is changing.
Yeah.
There's months and years of you doing that, nothing's changed in your character
Right.
or in your walk with God, then I feel like you were just feeling some heat in the room. You weren't feeling the fire.
And not to say that we're perfect.
No.
You do go back to old habits, old patterns, old ways of thinking, but to realize that and to try to stop it and to try to have a Christ-like mindset is what the goal is.
And I think like people just want God's fire in the room. They don't want to place it on the altar.
Yeah.
Because if you think back in the day, they would set their sacrifices onto the altar and the fire of God would come down and consume it. That's still the same process for us to this day.
Yeah.
We still have things that we have to sacrifice and lay down on the altar
Right.
that God will consume. So are you laying those
Yeah.
things down on that altar?
Yeah, sometimes we don't want him to go there. It's going to be hard to deal with. It's going to be painful. And you're like, I would just rather stay on the surface level here because that's easier than facing reality sometimes.
Yeah.
Pastor Patty talked a lot about you have to speak the truth of what you're going through, or it doesn't change. It doesn't get better. It doesn't deepen in relationship with Christ. You have to be like, listen, this is something I am struggling with, and this, I need you to help me here. You have to be honest about it.
Yeah. And it's not a one-time laying down.
Yeah.
You will constantly bring it to the altar until it's completely refined.
Yeah. Daily surrender.
And what you need to know is what God refines is what he values. He's refining your character.
Yeah,
He values you.
absolutely.
He values you so much that he is coming to you on that daily need, giving you that daily bread that you need to get through.
Right.
So don't be afraid to lay that on the altar, to be consumed by God's fire.
Yeah.
It burns the fat off. It doesn't burn. I wish it burned literal fat, but that's another story.
Yeah, but it burns away what doesn't belong. It burns away your fleshly desires. It burns away lies that you believe about yourself. It's burning away the things that he knows should not be there.
Right.
but you have to give him the access to do that.
Yeah. And what survives the fire is what God's going to build.
Yep.
So if you stay in the fire, you'll be processed through it. I know some things that I'm going through, it's just, man, I just want to give up and just back away and not have to deal with it anymore. But I've come to the realization that God could completely lift it off my table, could lift it off of me. But he hasn't, because I'm going through an actual process.
Right.
I'm going through something that's much deeper and that he wants to build on top of. And that will be a stronger relationship with him. And I think will make me more reliable in situations that he's going to put me in the future.
Yeah, that was another big point from Pastor Patty, that once you are set free from something, that gives you the anointing to help others be set free from it. Like you walking through all of this, I think someday is going to be huge to relate to people and to be there going through the same thing and be like, listen, I understand.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
was thinking
deep.
about like
Yeah.
the fires that we've seen in the Bible. And I think the biggest one that people remember is the burning bush
for sure.
with Moses. And what it did, first of all, was it humbled Moses. Moses had to take off his shoes because he was on holy ground. And that's how it is with us. We're face to face and we have to accept that God is holy.
Yeah.
And we humble ourselves before him. But then after that, it was his calling. He got his calling. So sometimes when you're going through that fire, it's really to show you your identity in relation with Christ. And then through your identity, you have a calling. But it always starts with God identifying you in relation with him. So
your identity as a child of God doesn't change. So you have to, and we talk about that all the time too. It has to be firm. It has to be solid. It has to be built on truth.
Identity has been the culprit in the beginning. Like if we lose our identity and who we are in God, then we lose the battle.
That shakes everything else. Yeah, that's the foundation.
You do everything out of the identity of who you are and how God sees you. And if that's twisted or warped, then what you do for God is going to be twisted and warped. So he is very concerned with your character and your identity and who you are, and not really about the things that you're doing. Things that you're doing are going to come later. He wants to refine you through that fire process.
Yeah. And again, he's not worried about how comfortable you are, how safe you feel, like he's worried about that character development. So he might not leave you, but let you walk through a season of difficulty that is producing more fruit.
Because unfortunately, us as humans, when we go through difficult times, then that's when we actually look for him. And through those difficult times is when we lean. And he wants us to lean on him because he's the source of everything. He's the source of our joy or whatever.
But yeah, if he sees a situation, this is going to bring you closer to me and this is going to produce something holy and wonderful in you. So we're going to let that simmer there.
Let's just simmer in that.
Meanwhile, we're like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, and we would love for him to take it away from us. I think of what Jesus said, let this cup pass me, but let your will be done. And that's how we have to live our lives. Bring it up that, hey, this is...
if you want to take it, go
difficult.
ahead.
I am...
But I'm here. I'm all in Jesus.
But just another fire situation with the men in the fire. Fiery furnace. We have him still there with us.
Absolutely.
He's still going to be beside you, and he's going to give you the strength to get through it. You just have to lean on him and have faith for it. So I think we touched on this already, but why do you think people resist the fire of God?
I think it's something unknown, so it's scary. It's something that requires you to be honest about difficult things. It requires you to surrender things, which is hard, to let go of control, to give up parts of yourself that you are comfortable with and used to. That's all hard stuff to do. We're set in our ways and we're like, oh, I'm doing okay. I'm not doing too bad. Oh, there's nothing really I need to work on.
We look for motivation without challenges, and God's here to challenge you.
Yeah.
So I think sitting in a pew on a Sunday morning, and then that's where the level's at, and that's it. It's very comfortable. You're okay with it.
It doesn't require you to give up anything.
But yeah, to give something up at the altar, to give up that control, to give obedience, to surrender, it's more difficult because
Right.
it's costing you something.
Yes.
So you sit there and you're like, I don't know if Jesus paid a cost high enough for me.
Yeah.
And how bad is that to think?
Right. Yeah. I was thinking about like the altar and the fire on it, but if you get off the altar, the fire doesn't come with you. So you need to daily be like, let me sit on the fire for a little bit. Let's bring it to the altar today.
Because you get tired after a while being on
Yeah.
that altar. You
Yeah.
just want to get up and you want to leave.
We all want life to be easier. It feels like it's hard enough, so you want something to be easy. But the point is holiness, not simplicity.
Yeah. And I think that's what we do with this. Like, we just stay in the presence of God.
Yep.
That's what we've been talking about forever.
Yeah.
But if we need to, we'll say it every week.
You
'Cause
gotta remind
it's
yourself
a
sometimes.
daily fight.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah.
constantly be honest with yourself. You have to constantly be bringing it to God, and you have to be in His presence. You have to surrender what you have.
Yeah.
You can't just say one time I'm going to do it and then
Yes.
let it go.
Yeah. And we talk about this process like it really is the rest of your life, the rest of your life on earth here. You need to wake up each day and be like, Lord, search me and tell me what I need to give to you today. Tell me what I need to surrender and become more like you with, you
And
know?
we completely understand how tiring it is.
Yeah.
We're all human. Like, it is exhausting to
Yes.
completely die to the flesh every day and to try to give control over to God. Like, I love to control
Yes.
but the funny thing is, even though I try to control it, I'm not in control of anything.
Right. And like, how well does it go when
It
we're in
doesn't go
control?
well.
You know? But we still were like, ooh, I'm gonna hold on. But just, yeah. So we talk about this so much because you almost need a weekly reminder to be like, hey,
It's because
check yourself.
that's what God wants us to do. He wants us to just our character and transform it. And it's not going to be done without pressure, without that fire coming down and consuming what is on the altar. And you have to place it on the altar. You have to surrender it.
Yeah.
He's not going to just come down and do it for you. That's the only part that we have to do is surrender that, and then He takes care of the rest.
Yeah.
So whatever it is in your life that is keeping you from Him, are we saying that the fire is going to be a nice, warm, cozy fire that you sip chocolate milk
Roast a
by?
marshmallow over.
No, it's not. It's going to be a fire that looks like it's going to ruin you, but won't ruin you.
Yeah, that's good. Yep.
It's here to refine you, to bring you to a higher place.
She talked about, and we said how you need to be honest and truthful, but also she talked about having people, you know, in your church or in your life that you can also be open with, like people who can walk through this with you, because it is a hard process sometimes. And if you're having something that is really deep and really a bit of a struggle, and it's hurting your heart and it's affecting your life and it's hard to let go of those things, it is. Go seek counsel over that. Your church brothers and sisters want to see you set free. Your spouse wants to see you set free. So don't hide in shame. Don't hide in fear. Let it be something that is brought to light because everybody loves you and wants to work through that with you.
Yeah, and I agree with that 100%. I would also say be selective.
Oh, absolutely.
Make sure you know that the person that you're talking to would have your best interest
Yeah.
and also has a good, sound biblical foundation.
Yeah, you don't want someone who is afraid to tell you the truth, someone who's afraid to hurt your feelings. Like, you need love and support, but you also need, hey, this is what the Bible says. This is what you need to do. Be firm, someone who's firm and not afraid of the truth.
Yep. You know how we love community. So if you are looking for a place to find a few people who will tell you like it is, Life Church Evansburg is always open. But yeah, it's just set out today to seek the fire. Lay what you have on the altar to be burned up. Lean into the process that God has for you. And just remember, it's character transformation.
Yeah.
It's gonna be brutal, it's gonna hurt, but God's gonna carry you through. And He's refining you to a golden status that He'll build upon. Just keep that in mind if you're going through fires right now. I know I am, and That's what's getting me through, is I know at the end of this process, I'll be golden.
Your fruit will be so sweet.
Okay, so that's it. That's all we have for you today. Thank you for listening, and as always, we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.